Welcome back to another transformative episode of Journey to Success. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and today we're diving into a topic that's at the heart of personal growth: finding motivation to change yourself. Joining us is an extraordinary guest, Dr. Abigail Foster, renowned transformational psychologist, best-selling author, and life coach who's inspired thousands to embrace change with courage and purpose. Abigail, it's an absolute privilege to have you with us today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm truly honored to be here and explore a subject that's not just about making tweaks, but about igniting a spark that propels you toward a bolder, truer version of yourself. A journey that's as exhilarating as it is profound.
I'm so excited to hear your insights. Change can feel daunting, especially when old habits or fears hold us back. Abigail, let's start with the big picture. Why is finding motivation to change yourself so essential for personal growth and success, and how does it shape our journey?
That's a beautiful question, Emily. And it really captures why motivation to change is such a cornerstone of a fulfilling life. Change is the engine of growth. It's how we break free from patterns that no longer serve us, whether it's a limiting mindset, an unhealthy habit, or a stagnant routine. Finding the motivation to change is essential, because it's the spark that turns awareness into action. Without it, you might know you want to be healthier, braver, or more connected, but stay stuck, trapped by inertia or doubt, missing out on your potential. With it, you unlock resilience, creativity, and purpose, crafting a life that aligns with your deepest aspirations. Motivation fuels the courage to face discomfort, learn from missteps, and build a version of yourself that thrives. Not just in success, but in meaning and joy. I think of Nelson Mandela, who said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." His transformation from prisoner to president wasn't just external. It was an inner change, driven by a relentless motivation to grow into a leader for justice, reshaping a nation. Early in my own journey, I was a paralegal in Boston, trapped in a cycle of overwork and self-doubt. I knew I wanted more, to help people, to live boldly. But I felt paralyzed, my motivation buried under fear of failure. When I found my spark, through reflection, small steps, and a vision of impact, everything shifted. I became a coach, wrote books that touch millions, and built a practice that lights up lives. Motivation to change isn't about flipping a switch. It's about nurturing a flame that guides you through uncertainty, shaping a journey where every change builds a stronger, more vibrant you.
That's such an inspiring way to frame it, Abigail. Motivation as a flame for growth. Mandela's transformation is so powerful. You mentioned your shift from paralegal to coach. Can you walk us through how someone can start finding motivation to change themselves, especially if they feel stuck or uninspired?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to connect with a personal vision. Motivation flows when you have a clear picture of who you want to become. Not a perfect ideal, but a version of yourself that feels alive, whether it's healthier, more confident, or more creative. Ask, what would my life look like if I changed? And let the answer guide you. One tool is a vision board. Write or sketch images of your future self, like, "I'm running a 5K, or "I'm speaking boldly." It makes change tangible. I draw inspiration from Oprah Winfrey, who said, "Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe." Her vision of impact, born in poverty, built a global legacy. When I was a paralegal, I felt numb, endless files, no purpose. I was stuck, uninspired, thinking change was for others. Oprah's vision woke me. I wrote, "I help people heal." I sketched a stage, books. It wasn't grand, but it lit me up. I took a psychology course, felt alive, and pivoted to coaching. My practice grew, my book soared. I coached a client named Sarah, a cashier who felt trapped, no spark. She thought change was impossible. Inspired by Oprah, she visioned, "I'm a teacher." She sketched classrooms, took night classes, and now teaches radiant. A vision isn't a fantasy, it's a motivator, pulling you toward change even when you're stuck. Another key step is to start with micro actions. Motivation builds from doing, not planning, so pick one tiny step, like walking 5 minutes or journaling one thought, and do it daily. It proves change is possible, sparking momentum. I learned this from James Clear, who said, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." His Atomic Habits shows small steps when I used to dream big, quit my job, and freeze. Clear systems helped. I read one psychology page daily. It grew to degrees, my career transformed. Sarah started micro, read one education article. It led to her degree, her classroom. Micro actions and vision don't demand perfection. They ignite motivation, making change feel real and reachable.
Those are such practical and uplifting steps, Abigail, of vision and tiny actions. Oprah and Clear make it so approachable. But what about when fear, like fear of failure or judgment, saps your motivation to change? How do you push through that?
Oh, Emily, fear is like a shadow. It looms large, whispering that change will end in disaster or shame. The key is to reframe fear as a guide, not a stop sign. Fear often signals you're stretching toward something meaningful. So instead of "I'll fail," think, "This is me growing." One tool is a fear to fuel journal. Write your fear. "I'll look foolish," then flip it. "Trying means I'm brave." And list one step, like practice once. It shrinks fear's power. I draw from Maya Angelou, who said, "Courage is the most important of all the virtues, because without courage, you can't practice any other virtue consistently." Her courage to write through pain changed lives. When I had coaching, fear gripped me, I'd fail, colleagues would judge. My motivation tanked, I stalled. Angelou's courage shifted me. I journaled. Fear. I'm not ready, fuel. I'm learning, step, one session. I tried, succeeded, and my practice flew, books followed. I coached a client named Michael, a mechanic wanting to manage, terrified he'd flop. He froze, judged himself. Inspired by Angelou, he journaled, fear. I'm not smart, fuel. I'll grow, step, lead one meeting. He shone, runs a shop now. Reframing fear fuels motivation, turning it from foe to friend. Another strategy is building a safe space to try. Change privately first, practice a skill alone, share with a trusted friend, to ease judgment's sting. I learned this from Michelle Obama, who said, "You don't have to be perfect to be amazing." Her private prep built confidence for global stages. I used to fear public coaching, Obama's prep helped. I practiced talks at home, then with friends. My seminars packed rooms. Michael practiced leading with family, his confidence grew, he leads teams. Safe spaces and reframing don't erase fear. They channel it, keeping motivation alive through doubts.
That's so empowering, Abigail. Reframing fear and safe spaces. Angelou and Obama bring it to life. You've mentioned incredible figures like Oprah and Clear. Are there other famous people whose motivation to change inspires you?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. Motivation to change radiates from so many lives. Take J.K. Rowling, who said, "We do not need magic to change the world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already." Broke, rejected, she changed herself, writing through despair, to create Harry Potter, touching billions. When my workshops flopped, no attendees, I leaned on Rowling. I rewrote talks, tried again, and sold out. I coached a client named Olivia, a nurse stuck in routine wanting to lead. Rowling's power led her to train. She's a director saving lives. Another is Nelson Mandela, who said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." His inner change, learning in prison, freed a nation. When a book stalled, Mandela's learning inspired me. I studied, rewrote, hit charts. Olivia, inspired by Mandela, studied management. Her unit thrives, she glows. Then there's Serena Williams, who says, "Every woman's success should be an inspiration to another." She changed her game, post-injury, post-doubt, winning 23 slams. I coached a client named Ethan, a coder hating his job, scared to shift. Williams' success led him to learn design. He built an app, Mentors Now. These icons, Rowling's power, Mandela's learning, Williams' success, show motivation is a choice, crafting lives of change and impact.
Those stories are so uplifting, Abigail. Rowling, Mandela, Williams, they show change's power. What about when life's chaos, like time constraints or stress, makes change feel impossible? How do you find motivation then?
Chaos is a storm, Emily. Swirling demands that drown motivation, making change seem like a luxury. The key is to integrate change into your day. Find micro moments, 5 minutes to reflect, one choice to act, and tie them to routine like morning coffee or a commute. One tool is a change anchor. Pick one daily habit, Add a tiny change like after brushing, I'll stretch. Fits chaos. I draw from Thich Nhat Hanh, who said, "The present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it." His mindfulness fuels peace in frenzy. When my practice overwhelmed me, clients' deadlines, I had no time to change, motivation gone. Han's moments helped. I anchored. After email, journal one goal. Sparked coaching shifts, my books grew. I coached a client named Rachel, a teacher buried in grading, no space for growth. She felt trapped. Inspired by Han, she anchored. Post-lunch, read one page. She earned a degree, leads now. Integration makes change possible, no matter the storm. Another strategy is redefining success as effort. Chaos makes big wins feel distant, so celebrate trying one step, not perfection. I learned from Viktor Frankl, who said, "What is to give light must endure burning." His purpose survived camps. I used to need huge results. Frankl's effort helped. I valued one call, my practice thrived. Rachel valued one study session, her confidence soared. Effort and integration don't fight chaos. They weave motivation into it, keeping change alive.
That's so practical, Abigail. Integrating change and valuing effort. Han and Frankel make it vivid. How do we sustain motivation to change long-term, especially when old habits or setbacks pull us back?
Sustaining motivation is like tending a garden. It blooms with care, even through weeds of habit or setbacks. One habit is tracking progress monthly. Note one change made, like I walked twice. To see growth, however small. I learned from Benjamin Franklin, who said, "Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning." His journals built empires. I tracked monthly, tried meditation, wrote pages, my coaching shines, books sell. I coached a client named Anna, a lawyer relapsing to procrastination. Franklin's progress led her to track. She argued cases, mentors now. Another key is refreshing your vision. Revisit your why, health impact, quarterly, tweaking it as you grow, like now I want leadership. Malala Yousafzai says, "One child, one teacher, one pen can change the world." Her evolving vision fuels advocacy. I refresh yearly, my talks evolve, practice grows. Anna refreshed. I want to teach. Her drive soared, she trains juniors. Also build a support circle. Share goals with encouragers, friends, mentors to stay accountable. Michelle Obama says, "Am I not whole because I'm not perfect? No, I'm whole because I'm striving." Her circle lifts her. My group cheers me, books thrive. I coached a client named Mark, a salesman backsliding on fitness. Obama's striving led him to share. He runs marathons, coaches peers. Finally, anchor to purpose. Your why, family legacy, defies setbacks. Desmond Tutu reconciled nations, saying, "Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness." My why, uplifting, keeps me changing. These habits, tracking vision, circle purpose, sustain motivation, making change a lifelong dance.
Those are such radiant tools, Abigail. Franklin's progress, Malala's vision, Tutu's hope. It's a blueprint for transformation. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to find motivation to change themselves today?
My biggest advice is to choose one spark of change now. Motivation begins with a single brave act toward your truer self. Think of Fred Rogers, who said, "You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind." His gentle changes touched millions. For me, it was one journal page, a spark that built a life I cherish. One last story. I coached a single mom named Lauren, a clerk feeling stuck, no spark to grow. We looked at Serena Williams, who changed relentlessly, saying, "I'm not afraid to take risks." Lauren tried, one resume sent. She landed a teaching job, inspires her son, radiant. If Lauren can change, so can you. Act now, walk once, write one line. That spark builds a life of transformation.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Abigail. Lauren's story, alongside legends like Rogers and Williams, shows change is for everyone. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are ready to ignite their spark.
Thank you, Emily, and to all the listeners. I hope you feel empowered to embrace change with courage and joy.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation lit a fire in you, and I'm certain it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every transformative episode. Share this with someone ready to change, and join us next time for more insights to fuel your journey. Until then, keep finding motivation to change yourself, one spark at a time.